John's Gospel tells us that Jesus began his last Passover meal washing the feet of the apostles and instructed them that no servant is greater than his master, and that the apostles must serve others the way that Jesus served them. In Luke's Gospel today, we hear the dinner conversation at the end of that meal. Are the apostles talking about how great the meal was? Are they discussing how great Jesus is and how weird it was that he washed their feet? No, the apostles are arguing about who among them should be the greatest. Their teacher, their master, just washed their feet and instructed them to serve others. And this is where their conversation went. Many of us experience the same thing at family dinners. We gather for a birthday or a holiday. Someone spends days cleaning and decorating their home, buying and cooking food, and setting out the best plates and silverware. As guests enter, the host takes their coat, offers a drink or a bit of nosh, and makes everyone feel welcome. Dinner is delicious. After, some guests offer to clean up, while others turn on the television for the latest game. This leads to a conversation about the players taking a knee, and how Black lives do matter, and how awful our president is handling everything, and how our children's future is ruined because they cannot return to the classroom, and how the pandemic restrictions are ridiculous, and so on, and so on, and so on. Somehow, the guests lose sight of why they gathered, and they forget all the work the host did to bring them together. How does the host handle this? With love. The host sets out dessert, turns off the television, and invites everyone to play a game. How does Jesus react to his apostles' conversation? As he always does, with love and patience and kindness. He reiterates his instructions for the apostles. Let the greatest among you be the youngest, and the leader be as the servant. Today we celebrate Pope St. Gregory the Great. Gregory personified what it means to be the servant leader that Jesus calls all of us to be. Franciscan media describes Pope St. Gregory in this way. He gave away much of his property to the poor and became a Benedictine monk and a priest. He founded a number of monasteries and became a papal nuncio to Constantinople. At the age of 50, he became pope. As pope, Gregory was direct and firm. He removed unworthy priests from office, ransomed prisoners, and forbade taking money for many services. He emptied the papal treasury to ransom prisoners, to care for persecuted Jews and the victims of plague and famine. He was very concerned about the conversion of England and sending 40 monks from his own monastery. Gregory lived in a time of perpetual strife and invading Lombards and difficulty relations with the East. Over 1400 years ago, during his papacy, Pope St. Gregory the Great led God's people as they faced deadly plague, famine, war, and a time when an entire country was in need of a conversion of faith. Does this sound familiar? How did he respond to these crises? As Jesus instructed, by serving those in need with love, patience, and kindness. Today, as we face the same crises, Jesus calls each one of us to follow his example. Serve others with love, patience, and kindness. Danny Gokey's song says it best: love God and love people. Serving others is the best way for anyone to express their love for God.